For many years now, Super Mario has been a household name on the international salsa scene, recognized and respected by students and fellow professionals for his amazing lead, an unlimited database of fantastic moves and combinations, and his teaching ability. His classes and workshops have always been extremely popular both in the UK and in countries as far as Australia, Japan and the USA, specializing on technique but always maintaining an element of fun. Mario has earned himself the title Million Moves Man through his ability to create any number of unique combinations that are led with expertise and are always comfortable to follow. His dancing style is smooth but fast, giving him and his dance partner extra freedom to improvise. His amazing presence on the dance floor sets him apart as a social dancer, and his outgoing, energetic personality has always been instrumental in getting him known in the salsa world.
Welcome to South Africa, welcome to Johannesburg. People say that you don't really like to travel very, very far. So this must be like a very, very special event that got you all the way over here. Like what got you into a plane? How long did it take? Why did you come? What is the big deal that actually made you take this long journey to get here?
First of all, thank you, South Africa. People have been absolutely wonderful here. And having been here now for 2 days, 2 nights of partying, I know I made the right decision by coming here, People have always invited me to come to South Africa, but like you said, I was scared of flying. It was something that happened a few years ago. After that, I just decided not to leave Europe anymore, And why I decided to come here was, Olo was very influential in that, because he's a very good friend of mine from way back when. And when he told me, like, Mario, he's doing something, blah, blah, can you come and help me out? And he's starting something new, and he's a good friend, and South Africa has been asking me to come for a long time, and so I told Olu, I made some conditions. It was never about the money or the accommodation, it was only about the flying. So I told him, if you flew me like the big plane with this direct, he's like, okay. So I said, okay, I'll come. And here I am, and I'm glad I came. I really am glad I came. You guys are just amazing here. People are just super friendly, very friendly. I said that to you even before we did this interview, so I'm telling you the truth. And they're very eager and very hungry to learn. And I think now, also that's another reason why I sometimes choose places where salsa is just starting. Or I know it's not starting here, but it's still a baby. You know what I mean? And it's still fledging out here. So that's another reason also I decided to come here as well. So I'm here.
You're here, and we're so glad to have you.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
So we spoke about this in Bar Salsa. If you remember the conversations back in I think it was 2011, 2012, and I told you that you're basically the most influential teacher in South Africa. How is it to be told that you're the most influential teacher in the world?
Well, a huge compliment, a very huge compliment. I take pride in what I do. I love what I do. I truly believe I want to share everything that I have inside me. Unfortunately, I don't have enough time to do that when I travel. And when people are eager to learn, I'm eager to share. And so, if I leave a small memory with everybody when I leave South Africa this time, I know I've done what I want to do. So for me, it's like when people tell me things like you just did, which is I feel very proud of what I've done, and I'm sure my mom will probably enjoy hearing what you just said more than I do, but I feel what you're saying though, and sometimes when people say it, I don't really take it in, but sometimes people say it, like you guys have been saying it this weekend, I've been like, okay, you know what, you truly mean it. So everybody's been saying the same thing, so I feel it feels good, I feel very blessed, I feel very honored, and I don't take what I have for granted. So I'm loving being here. I'm loving being around people who want me to be here, So, thank you.
So you mentioned your mom there. What does your mom call you? Because everyone knows you as Super Mario, like Super Mario, like the Million Moves Man. So what does mom call you?
Mario. My name is Mario.
Oh,
just Mario. That's it. My grandma used to have a nickname, but my mom calls me Mario.
Okay.
Grandmas.
Always, right? So tell me something. Let's go back in time a little bit, right? So let's imagine we were friends growing up. 16 years old, 15 years old, 16 years old, we're in school together. Who is Mario?
Who was Mario? Okay, well, I was a kid growing up in India. I left India when I was 16 years old and moved to the UK. Studies, education is what Indian parents always want their kids to do, which I came to London to do. I was good at that. I went to school, I went to college, I went to university. I did 2 degrees in mathematics and accountancy. So between my 2 degrees, I decided that, I wanted to travel the world. And it's something that I've always wanted to do since I was a kid. I used to sit outside my grandma's house and watch planes take off. I'm talking about the 80s, man. It's like only rich people did that stuff, and it was something that I always wanted to do since I was a kid. I'm talking about 5-6-year-old kid, And so studying, getting a degree, working, that's what initially the plan was, And they say life has its way, right? And salsa just popped into my life one evening, and it was not something I planned. It was never something I wanted to do. It just happened in my life, and 21 years later, here I am. But 15, 16, study, get a degree, work, have a family, blah, 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 the usual Indian parent thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it all changed. Convincing my mom to let me do what I'm doing now was a very key factor of my life because, spending 7 years in university with a lot of money and stuff, and then I'm like, Mom, I want to go teach salsa. Okay, but my mom is cool, and she accepted it, and she was good.
Mm-hmm.
That was a part that I was really afraid that maybe she would not let me do it.
Yeah.
And she did, and it happened, and here I am. Yeah, it was good. It was good. It's a good story.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I grew up in Durban myself, and I don't know if you know this, but Durban is said to be the biggest community of Indians outside of India.
I know. I see that many cricket matches there.
Yeah, right. And I mean, I've grown up in Indian communities my whole life. Well, most of my youth, they were like known to be a lot safer than the communities which would suit my demographic, being
Sure.
a mixed
So
race.
you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. And you got to be an engineer, doctor,
An accountant, or something on those lines. Yeah. So 15, 16, that was my goal was to educate myself and go in the direction of what normal Indian kids want to do,
Mm-hmm.
And I don't regret having done all that because I think I learned discipline in college. I learned how to teach. I learned how to learn. I learned how to do exams. I learned how to. So all those things accumulated into guiding me into becoming somebody good at teaching. You know what I mean? It's like performing was not something I wanted to do. Teaching is something I love, and I guess all that just helped me be where I am today.
Mm-hmm.
So
teaching is not something.
no, it's a skill, bro. It's a skill, and you know what? A lot of people are good at performing, not good at the other side. A lot of people are good at social dancing, not on the other one. A lot of people are teaching, I consider myself to be a good teacher. I love teaching. I love, I consider this to be an interview, and people always ask me in interviews, like, what makes a good teacher? For me, it's like, if you don't have the answer to a question that somebody's asking you, don't teach. Simple as that. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't tell them this is the advanced class, you got to know the answer to them now. That's the wrong things to say. You answer them because they're paying you money to learn from you. You teach them.
Yeah.
And it's as simple as that. And I guess I'm still learning all those problems, so it's good. It's good. It's still a learning experience.
Totally. I mean, that's one of the things that always has annoyed me before going to classes where the teacher's like, just feel it, man. Just feel it. What a cop out, right?
It's you can't say, to be good at something, you need a lot of bad things around you. You understand what I'm saying? It's like, so if you felt that somebody told you that, right, you'd be like, okay, I got to find another teacher, and that would bring you to me eventually, and that's what will make you see, like, okay, this guy's better than that guy. So if I was the only guy in your city teaching, you would undervalue me because you wouldn't believe anything I'm saying, or you wouldn't take it. So it's good to have that bad stuff around us as well. But in India, we are very, very. I'm a Catholic, Okay, so I'm not Hindu, but I grew up in a Hindu area of India. So teachers are like second to God. So for us, you don't just go there to teach, you've got to think of this as something that people are valuing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's a vocation.
Absolutely. And well, now the world has changed a little bit, but still, teaching is a skill, it's a skill that you need to constantly keep working on and developing it.
So speaking about teaching, how do you feel about, you've been around, you've been teaching for the longest time. The fact that you basically, in a way, pioneered DVD teaching, which is not, it's definitely not something that you can turn your nose up at. It's probably one of the hardest things to do, is to actually teach through a medium where you don't have the one-to-one connection with the students. How has that been for you?
Unfortunately, London is my home, and in London I teach differently. People come on a regular basis. The way I teach them is different. And when I go to a festival, it's completely different, because you have an hour, you got to communicate something between them and you, show them something that works socially. The DVD is just a tool that allows you to go back to wherever you came from, because right now I'm living South Africa, so I would leave 20, 30 DVDs here with people, and people would work off it, So if they like what I'm doing in class, they know that they're going to get something similar on DVD. So even in a DVD with Susana Montero, I break down everything. I teach them the technique of how to do things, and it allows them to practice a lot as well. So it's three different forms of communicating with people in terms of teaching. Like in London, nobody would buy my DVD because I'm home based. You know what I mean? In a festival, people come to take a class, they learn something, they make a video, they go home, they're happy with that. But people who want to take what I'm doing a little bit further, like social dancing, different moves, whatever, build a repertoire of combinations, they get the DVDs. But they're still able to communicate. I also tell people, if they have any questions, please write me, call me, whatever. People do that. Some people actually send me a clip of the video saying, like, Mario, and I would actually make a clip back and send it to them. So I'm good with my fans. I'm good with people who really want to learn something, who want to take it to the next step or whatever. I'm good with. So we've been okay.
Yeah. Right now, I'm probably going to be slipping in a clip that I took of you last night, doing pretty much a private class right in front of the elevator with a couple, and helping this couple out with it looked like a Copa move of some sort. And that was, you didn't have to be doing that, but there you were.
Questions, he had questions.
I think it was 1 o'clock in the morning or something, answering these guys' questions. It's amazing.
Like I said, a teacher should care about students any time of the day. And to be quite honest, if people have any questions, I always encourage them to come and ask me anywhere. It doesn't really matter. But I don't like people asking me questions on the dance floor, though. I don't like to give feedback, because when I'm dancing. I'm not thinking about, what she or he should be doing correctly and all that kind of stuff. So that's the only one place I'm like, what, this is not the right time, right place, So when I'm outside, I'm okay. Ask me anything you want. And if I know they really truly want to learn it, I will give my whole heart and soul into them understanding it, So yeah, it's good. I like people. Any questions, people bring it.
So keeping on the lines of media and media learning, what are your feelings with regards to social media, the advent of social media? YouTube, has really kind of changed the game a lot, and you've got this thing of YouTube learning.
Yeah.
Guys are just they go get the basics in a class, and then they go off to YouTube. What do you feel about that whole thing about just getting a minimal amount of basics and then going and learning the rest on YouTube?
I'm completely against it. It helps us to promote us or promote new people or new dances, new styles, whatever. But it's not the right place to learn. It's not. Before YouTube came, our dancing was much higher. The level of social dancing, the level of skill levels, even in South Africa, man. I remember a lot of you guys who came to Ravine, I think, right? The first time I met you all? Or Berlin?
I met you in London first. And
a big group of you, where did you guys
go?
go?
Oh, Ravine,
yes.
Yeah.
So when I saw so many of you there, I already danced with some of your girls, and you already had a very high level of dancing. Same goes to people from different countries also. They were super high level of social dancers. And then YouTube came and cultivated this culture of, I don't want to go to class, and I I can just learn everything off the internet or whatever. And you know, there is nothing to being in a class, in a circle, with somebody telling you what to do, practicing with people who can and cannot do it, rotating partners, putting the work, putting the sweat, training yourself to become good at whatever it is that you're practicing to be. There is no second option to that. Be there, do it. You want to be good at it. It doesn't matter what dance you do. You got to put the sweat and tears. You can't just put on your computer, bring a girl, and okay, let me see this, rewind, slow down. No, it doesn't work. There's a lot of things out there. There's little things that I do with my hands with a simple combination that you would not catch it on YouTube.
Yeah.
And then you take all that rubbish out to the dance floor, and they're like, "Hey, Mario can do it, why I cannot do it?" And and it's just a circle of just rubbish. You know, it's bad. I mean, the other day I had one of my students. He came to me. He's like, "Oh, I want to be like Terry." I'm like, awesome. I said, "I can make you like Terry. Not a problem at all. You can do two things: either go to France and train with Terry, which I'm sure he's going to tell you what I'm going to tell you right now, or I can train you to be like Terry. Quit your job. Listen to salsa music 24 hours a day. Practice 7 hours a day. You know, social dance with 5 million girls every weekend. 4 years later, you might become like him. Are you willing to do that? Oh my God, I cannot." So what you see on YouTube is not, Terry has put in his work. I know Terry for 12 years now. And I know that guy when he put his due in, I know I was there because he worked hard. So it's like, you got to put in the work, you know, it's not easy. And social media is a good tool to show people the diversity of the dance, you know. It should not be the tool to make you learn how to dance. You got to put in that work yourself physically. Mm-hmm. That happens everywhere, man. It's everywhere. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
But thankfully now people are realizing that, you know, we need to be physically in class. We need to take lessons. You know, people are understanding that now. I see that happening worldwide.
Yeah, I think there's definitely. I mean, having been in your classes before and watching the DVDs, watching the videos, there's such a, you know, the tangible effect of being in the class.
Absolutely.
And you know, the nice thing what I like about your classes is you just call people out. You're like, that's what you doing? That's not going to work.
No, but the thing is, you know, attention in class is important. You know, when I see somebody not paying attention, I know they are not listening to what I'm saying, and I know it's not. They're going to go try it. They're going to get frustrated when it doesn't work. And you know, there's something I'm doing in London right now, and I would like you guys also to try it back here. In my classes in London, I don't let people film. Never have, never will. Because people become lazy. They come late because they know at the end of the class they're going to record something. They don't pay attention because they know they're going to record something. They don't care because they know they're going to record something. I literally coach them like I learned. Like me and Leon, man, we used to learn something and practice it for months and years. We still, I'm sure if you bring Leon Rose here right now, we'll remember the class we took with Eddie Torres in 2001 at the New York Salsa Festival. Because we practiced that forever. You know what I mean? It's like people don't understand that it's necessary to keep your mind needs to work when you dance socially, not just a stupid camera phone, you know?
Yeah.
So I think it's working wonders for me. I'm creating a lot of beautiful dancers now in London who are dancing naturally. Mm-hmm. You know, they're dancing free flow dancing. Not just looking up in the sky and thinking about what they did last week or what Super Mario did last month or what Terry did 2 years ago. You know, they don't do that anymore. Mm-hmm. You should start thinking about it. I'm encouraging people around the world to start doing that now.
Yeah.
Obviously, in festivals, you cannot stop it because I'm a guest at somebody's event. So you've got to do what the guest is asking you to do, you know. But if they give me master classes like they did in Berlin last year, before the class started, I said, guys, it's a master class, which means you're better than the rest of them out there, which means you're going to learn from your brain, not from your camera, you know? And I told them, I said, 10 minutes before the class, watch the door. There will be 5 or 6 people walking in there just to film this. And we were waiting. And of course, 5 or 6 people walked in. I had to tell them, I'm sorry, but we're going to work this with our brain, you know? So I'm trying to stop social media becoming an influential part of somebody's social dancing. Mm-hmm. And hopefully a lot of people will follow, hopefully. Mm-hmm. So let's see.
Yeah. I totally agree with that.
But don't be afraid to try something. You know, people say, "Oh, but you're Super Mario." No, it's not. Try something. Maybe you lose 10 people, but I'm sure you'll gain 20 people. You know, because when they go out dancing, they'll be like, "Oh, I want to dance like that guy over there." Well, he's gone through you, and he's done it like this. So you got to do the same thing. It's the fear that people have. Don't be afraid. You know, that's why in class I just shout out and like, "Yo, that's wrong." No, but the thing is, people know I care, and so when people see this, they know that I'm watching them.
No, definitely.
So,
I think that stands out immediately. Is that you're not afraid to call people out, but you do it from a place of care.
Yes.
Like you're invested in them because they've invested in you and your time, and you just give that right back.
It's important to show people that you're watching. You know, it's not. I really do care about the social dancing. I really do care, and it's. I tell people afterwards, like, you know, if I feel like they feel offended or whatever, I just go to them and say, like, look, you know, I saw you, which means I care about what you're doing. Take it in a positive way. Don't take it in a negative way. You know, I was like, oh, it's cool. Nobody gets offended. I can get away with it.
You do get away with it.
I get away with it.
Well, I suppose when you just like step up to them and you're like, so how tall are you? Like 6'2", yeah? Be like, yeah, yes sir, yeah. You can say whatever
But
you want.
not in an intimidating way. It's never in an intimidating way. Never.
No ways. So, you know, you're very vocal about something that I think, going back, if anybody had to look at interviews of you in the past, it's something that always kind of comes up, is the fact, as you stated, that times were just more fun,
Of course.
before, and they're not as fun today. And, you know, given the cyclical nature of things, do you think that we can get back to that fun?
It's coming back. It's coming back very slowly. It is coming back. It's coming back very, very slowly. The first thing we did was, and I think I have to say thanks to Olu for this, because his coffee lounge made a big change in the DJ scene in Europe. I think about 3 years ago, I got goosebumps, look. About 3 years ago, he had a coffee lounge where he sent all the teachers, the DJs, and the people together. And he asked us, like, okay, so what's going wrong here? Why is everybody shifting to bachata, or why are your artists not dancing, whatever? And we laid into all the DJs, saying, like, look, the music you guys play doesn't make us feel like we want to dance. So they're like, okay, what do you want? I love Romantica. Really, I love Romanticas. Why? It's easy to dance with everybody. You play 6 hours of Romantica, I will dance 6 hours. That goes without saying. But if you start playing all this fast, hardcore music, I'm sorry, that 20% of people that stand by the DJ and dance with each other, that's not what the social scene's about. You know what? Everybody took it into account. And I even told the organizer, I said, like, you know what? Take away 2-3 artists, invest that money and bring in 2-3 DJs. Sit down with the DJs and tell them, look, it's got to be like this. And they're all doing what they're supposed to do. And now if you go to Europe, it's music, bro. It's the way it was. That's the first change. So we brought back what made us dance back then. And now you see the artists dancing with everybody. Now you feel that the connection between people, and the artist is starting again, the music and the people. You know, the vibe is starting again. It is there right now. It's absolutely there right now. No doubt about it. And it's coming back. It's coming back. It's the music, man. I dance with the music. I don't dance because I have to, or it's the evening, or somebody wants me to. No. I always tell my people, I clearly market the dance because you want to, not because you have to.
Yeah.
You play Romantica, I want to. So just now, just before we came up here, they played that song by Gilberto Santa Rosa. I just put my drink down and went looking for somebody, you know? Yeah. And that's what I love about what I do, because I still have that in me, you know, to want to be able to do that. Mm-hmm. And I think if you do that with everybody wants to do the same thing. Mm-hmm. You know? So it's coming back, it's coming back. Just, I don't know how long it's going to be here in South Africa, but in Europe it changes. Usually the changes happen there first, yes, and then they branch out slowly to Asia, to America, to South America. You know, it starts coming down slowly, you know what I mean? So, yeah, it's coming.
Amazing, amazing. What would you define your teaching style like?
My style?
Yeah.
I didn't know there were styles. I'm very logical. I share my philosophy. It creates a little bit of fun. I always tell people, take classes with everybody and anybody. Take lessons with everybody and anybody. But what you put in your system is things that make sense to you. What's logical, what creates Don't do because somebody says do this. Do it because it makes sense to you. Then it stays in you. So for me, logic is probably number one in my sense of making people understand what we're doing, you know. And when they start understanding logic, the progression of learning grows faster. It takes a little while to get to that stage, you know. Because right now everybody is like, I can't do classes with Mario on a Monday because it's my gym night. I can't do classes with Regan on a Tuesday because it's my football night, whatever. You know, it's like, so people have a lot of excuses not to be where they are right now, you know what I mean? But I always tell them, like, do what you guys have to. If you're gonna do it like this, you know? So logic needs to prevail. Mm-hmm. So I would say logical style. So yeah, because I think, because editors was a very important part of my learning curve, and there's a lot of things he said that, you know, made sense to me, and when it made sense to me, it stayed with me. And I believe a good teacher puts things into you that stays in you, and I wanted to be like him, you know. So I mean, I could never do that, but I really truly want to be like the man who cared about everybody. And logic is what brought me as a teacher out, you know, more.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, Eddie really, he set the bar really high.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like, I mean, just to define something that was so undefined for so long.
He brought it to us. He made us learn it. He taught us how to do it. And he stayed with us while we were progressing in it. And God bless him, he's still watching us, you know, and thank you, Eddie. I mean, everybody who still dances from way back when is one of Editor's students. You know, we used to go to New York, me and Leon, to take his class. You know, every other month we used to go there. So it cost us money, but we worked for it.
Yeah,
so if you work for it, you go there. We never watch YouTube to learn from him. You know, it's like, it's not the same. It's not the same.
No.
We drilled behind. We had to stand behind him and drill it and drill it and drill it. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then on the other side of that, so you got talking about your teaching style. What would you say about your dancing style?
I'm a social dancer, man. I'm supposed to be out there. That's it. You know, I just love. I told you, the music is right, the music is correct. I want to dance. I mean, it's as simple as that. I don't care if you're a beginner. I don't care if you're a superstar. I just love to dance. And to be honest, it's a well-known fact in Europe. You will never find me by the DJ stage or DJ box. I'm always at the back.
That's true.
By the exit, I'm always at the back because I want to dance with people I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I want to dance with people who are new to the scene. I want to dance with people who are here to have fun, you know, and to be able to keep it social. It's the new people that I like to dance with. Mm-hmm. And to be quite honest, if I knew somebody, I really don't want to dance with them because what's the point of me doing stuff that they know that I'm going to do to them, and it just doesn't. Yeah. It's not adventurous for me. You know?
It's not adventurous.
So that adventure with people is good for me. I like it. I like it very much.
Yeah. So this is, you know, if you compare the afro-latin scene, the salsa scene to other forms of dance, which are generally more competitive. You know, you've got your ballroom and Latin styles, you've got your ballet styles, hip hop, blah blah blah. All of these styles seem to get support and funding from government, but yet afro-latin doesn't. What do you think it would take for, because I suppose a big part of that is because it looks like we're just having like such a party.
It is a social dance though, right?
Yeah.
It is a social dance. It's I mean, salsa came from Latin America because people went out to pick up girls. You know what I mean? Kizomba comes from family-oriented dances, which is parties in the hometowns, you know, whatever. So it's a social dance. Bachata is in between the two of them, and you know, but ballroom was a competition dance, so people practicing to compete. Hip hop is a competition dance also. Because you can't go to a club and do your normal hip hop stuff, you know what I mean? You can't go to a party and dance your ballroom stuff, or your belly dancing, or your ballet, or whatever. So it's a social dance. We come from a social dance scene. So getting funding for that is impossible, almost impossible. I'm sure people tried, but it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I don't think so. And that's why we're going to be thankful to the organizers to do all these things. You know, the things they go through to be able to bring all this to us. Mm-hmm. It's a lot. It's a lot. Yeah. So funding never going to happen.
So sad.
Nice try, but people have tried. Like I think Albert Torres tried to make it competitive, but I don't think he succeeded in getting funding from the government. I don't think so. I think the ESPN was probably the biggest funding he got to telecast that program live. I think so, yeah. But no, it's not going to happen. And I don't want salsa to become competitive. You know what I mean? I don't want it to become a competition then. So it's small. We're good. We're happy. You know.
Yeah. That's always the question that we get is whenever people ask me, so what do you do? I teach and dance salsa. Oh, do you compete?
It's the world. It's the world. The vision of the world. You know what I mean? It's like if you switch on the TV and watch any dance shows, it's all competitive, right? And predominantly everybody who's dancing with a star, the dancer is a ballroom dancer. You know, all the winners of any other dance programs are usually contemporary or jazz or ballet dancers. You know, salsa people never make it to the top, or if they do, it's all about tricks and it's not social. You know what I mean? So, yeah, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, totally. So I think I want to wrap it up with a final question.
Sure.
I think this is something that is very, very dear to me because, you know, I remember as a kid thinking like, wow, I would love to be a musician. That would be like the most amazing job for me. And to be told, you know, there's no future, and I'm sure you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
There's no future in the arts. There's no future in music, or you know, for others for dancing, for painting or whatever. But yet here we have a weekend with artists coming here who just live on this, you know, beautiful thing. Do you have any words for kids, next generation, who are thinking about pursuing the arts as a career?
Never give up. Work hard, because if you got it easy, you won't appreciate it. And when I started, I was 50 kilos bigger than I am right now, and I was being judged by everybody, and people would say nasty stuff. There was websites dedicated to just talking rubbish about me, and you know, it all happened out there, and I didn't care. I would cry sometimes. Susanna was a very good mentor of mine, and she said to me, like, look, they're talking because you're good at what you're doing. Don't give up. Work. You know, it's you know, I'm very good for creating combinations and new moves. My work is social dancing. To be able to create something, I need to dance with at least 200, 300 girls to create one move. So that's my work I put into getting something out of it. You know, it's not something I sit at home and decorate by myself. I don't have a dance partner. You know, I don't sit with my wife and I'm like, okay, let's do this. No, we don't do all that stuff. I need to dance. I need to dance to be able to create. So whatever it is that you guys are aspiring to become, work hard, work very hard. And it's not easy. Everybody's out there had to work. Fred Astaire had to work. Eddie Torres had to work. Frankie Martinez had to work. Everybody had to put in their due. Nothing came easy. Adolfo is working. He's working really hard. Tropical Gem worked almost 10 hours a day. They train, you know. It's Terry social dances. He's listening to music all day. To become musical, he needs to listen to music. So everybody needs to put in their work, you know. It's like I always say, if it comes easy, it's not for you. You got to work hard, but don't give up. There's going to be a lot of obstacles. A lot of people are going to discourage you, including your own parents, you know. But talk to people who inspire you. Talk to them. Sit down, have a conversation. Get motivated, you know. Don't get discouraged. I tell people, when you go to festivals, you're going to see people better than you. Don't get demotivated. Say to yourself, the next time I come to this festival, I want to be better than that person. Work. Work, work, work. Practice, 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 and take classes as much as you guys can. Even if there are shitty classes and you don't want to be there, go there. You know, it's you've got to be in a learning atmosphere. You know, YouTube is not for you. It's not a learning tool. It's an inspiring tool, but in a class you've got to be there, because you know, you've got to understand that things work from up here. It needs to be drilled in every week. Mm-hmm. It's not something that you guys can just click and get. You know, it's not going to be easy. But you know, I feel very lucky for who I am and what I've done in life, and I never take it for granted. you know. But if tomorrow everything is over, I'm good. I've done it. I've seen it. I've been there. I've done that. You know, I bought the T-shirt. But you know, talk to people. Don't get discouraged. It's going to be hard. It's going to be tough. But it's there. It's there. People always need new things to be able to see. You know. So yeah, words of wisdom.
Yeah, totally words of wisdom.
Absolutely. You didn't give up. I didn't give up. You know, people need to see that you had to put in your work too. So.
Wow. What a great conversation. Candid as ever, like straight talking, honest as can be.
It should be like that always.
Yeah, Moray, what a pleasure.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very
so
much for having me. Good luck, South Africa. Work hard. Hope to see you, and you know, be nice. Keep smiling, and remember, it's just a dance.
Words of wisdom. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you
see
so
you all
much.
in Europe sometime soon. Thanks, bro.
Thanks, man. Thank you so much. Wow.
He's gonna sleep.
That was amazing.